Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. It's Patty at pspapercrafts and I have another fun fold. It's Friday. So today we're going to make a corner fold pop-up card, I think is what it's called. So it almost looks like a bookbinding fold, but then when you open it, it has this cool kind of pop-up. So it sits like this. It's kind of fun. You could decorate this more and decorate here. I used the Zoo Crew stamp set or Zoo Crew paper for this, and I thought you wouldn't even have to use a critter. This black and white is great. You could put some floral thing here, but I thought he was so cute. It says smile, and then in here, because you're awesome. So I think that's cute. The stamp set I used is from the Circle Sayings. So I used the smile and then because you're awesome. But of course, we're going to make a whole different card this time using some new product from the mini catalog. So we will be using this cute paper. This is called the Beary Christmas paper. And I love this. So I thought we would use this page or this sheet. And I have all the pieces cut. And I will have the directions in a project sheet below with pictures and measurements, so don't worry about keeping track of everything. So we're going to use this snowflake, and then this, I just love it. It's so cute. And Night of Navy and Basic White. So let's get started. The first thing we need is a half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 of Night and Navy. And this one I cut at the 4 1/4, so it's 4 1/4 by 11. And then we're going to score it. So let me get my trimmer out. And it has the scoring blade on it. So we will score this twice. Make sure I have my light gray scoring. And we are going to score at 4 1/4. And this is how you make the book binding. It's the same card base, and then we're going to do 5 1/2. I like to get it nice and scored. So now we have where it folds in half, and then we're going to adhere this down and fold this back. So it gives you these nice square pieces. Then we have an 8 by 8 piece of basic white, and you can use a piece of designer series paper for this as well. And we are going to score it at 4. And again, I found this on YouTube, Pinterest. Don't know who to give the credit to because so many people make them, you don't know who the original person is. So we'll score this again. So I just rotated it and we'll score it. So now we have like 4 boxes. Now we want to go point to point. So we want to get one point up here, and I'm hoping I'm in camera. And the other point, I think it's too long for the camera. We're going point to point. So we want each point to be in the groove. And then we want to just score it like this. So you'll end up with a piece that looks like this. Okay? And we're done with this. You can use this to trim it because we are going to cut off a piece, a square. And you can use your trimmer to do that or just a pair of paper snips or scissors, whatever. So I'm just going to cut down this score line and try to keep it as straight as possible. Right to where everything meets. Okay, and then we're going to cut again on this score line, which I just want to make sure I can see it good. I think I'm losing my lighting here. So we just want to cut straight down here. And this creates that inside pop-up piece. It's very clever. You know, the people who come up with these things, gotta hand it to them. They have some great ideas. Kind of like origami, right? Let's just cut up here a little bit more. So again, you can use your trimmer or you can use scissors. There we go. So this we'll just save for scrap. And this is our piece. So we want to fold it. Let me get my bone folder and make sure we have it nice and folded and burnished. And then this piece, and I like to go both ways with this, just to get it nice and folded so it works out good. So this is going to be our piece on the inside. So this will come like this and like this, and this will fold in. Okay, so let's get to our decorating. And on this one, I put ribbon down, and I'll tell you when you would need to do that if you were going to do it. So this one we're going to put down right here, and I feel like I'm off a little bit. Let's get this. I'm just going to burnish this a little bit more. I feel like it's a little crooked. There we go. And then let's do this. Okay, so let's decorate. We'll just use some liquid glue. I just think this is so cute. I love it. And I love the other side too. Look at those blue trees. Blue and green trees. And you'll have just a little border around it. And if you wanted to put white between, you can cut it a little bit smaller. So this is 4 by 4 and this is 1 by 4. So you can put a little white layer between if you wanted to go 1/4 of an inch smaller on this paper, or just go up 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch on a piece of white paper, white cardstock. Okay. Now, if you were to put ribbon, which I'm not going to put on this, before you adhere this down, you can put your ribbon around and you can tape it, hide it back here. So when you close this up, you won't see it if you're going to do that. Now, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus and just go right down here, 2 rows of it. This is a very strong adhesive, and we're just going to press that down, and that will close that. So you've got this kind of a look, right? So what I found with this card, and I don't know if it's because I'm left-handed, but when you open it, like I can't write on it. With a right-handed person, you probably could, but I found it awkward, and that's why I didn't even stamp on it. I added a stamped little layer there. So if you're left-handed, I would stamp it before. If you're right-handed, I think you could be okay with it. So that was just, I was like, how am I going to do this? So I would say if you were going to write out cards, you can write it before you do anything. I am going to do my stamping on this before I do anything else, and I have my stamps, and I'm going to use the Merriest Trees stamp set. I love this. We wish you a Merry Christmas. So we're going to put that on, and I'm wondering if I should put another piece of this on the side like I did in here. And I also was thinking that I would put another one of these in here so that when it opens, we have this in there. So I think I'm going to do that. And this one, I just left it blank. You could put designer series paper, you could stamp over here, but I thought that would be cute. And so I'm going to do that. And you have to make sure you've got this right. So this is how it's going to go. So you don't want to stamp it or add anything the wrong direction. So let's just put this down. So we want it to go this way. I almost put it down wrong. And this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I wanted to have a little bit more of a border around it. Okay, and then this we're going to put down here, but I'll show you how we're going to do that. And let me get another piece of this to put here, should we? I can't decide. I'll cut it. So I'm going to do a 4 by 1, or maybe I have a little piece already cut. Let's see. No, that's too short. I'm looking at this one. Maybe this is enough. Yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to make it 3 3/4. We could put it down here too, but let's put it here, just to have a little something extra there. So I'm going to put this down, and I probably should have stamped first. Always stamp first. I've heard stamp and then stick, because if you make a mistake, you've got all your paper down. But we'll fix it if we do. So let's get this stamp, and I'm going to use, I've got a pile that's going to fall. I'm going to use Old Olive. That's one of the colors in the paper. So we'll use Old Olive. Just make sure it looks good. Isn't that pretty? And we'll just put it right here. Now, if I knew who I was giving this to, I'd probably write their name right now. But we're not going to go there. I'll figure that out, or I'll have a right-handed person do it for me. How's that? So now we need to get this right here. So I'm going to cut, this again is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm going to cut it right down the middle. So we'll take this and we'll go corner to corner again. Every time I move one end, the other end moves. And now we have our 2 triangles. And we can adhere these right here. So on this one, I did 4 by 4. I didn't do 3 3/4. So there's no border around it. So if you like that look, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to put the border on this one. So there's a kind of a white border all the way around. And I'll just use my liquid glue. There's the paw prints. Somebody said these are like the Coca-Cola bears, right? Everybody knows what that means if you say it. Okay, and then we'll put this right here. So it's a fun card, isn't it? I think this would be great to give to kids. You know, to give to anybody, but I think they would think it's fun. And then it really stands up. So I think that's fun. When it's open, it really stands up. A lot of times cards fall down. So we've got our whole inside done. Now what we want to do is get our card, and we're going to glue this down. So we'll just fold it up and put our glue right like this. And we want our border around it, and we want to make sure that it's centered. And then we can put our glue here. And you could use whatever adhesive you want. I would use something on the strong side because there's a little bit of bulk in this and you don't want it to fall apart. So there you have it. Cute, right? And you could even decorate down here if you wanted to. Oh, we didn't do anything on the front. Let's do the front. I got so carried away with the inside that I didn't do the front. I think that's cute. I like it a lot. So on the front, I thought we would just do hope your home is filled with the spirit of the season. And I don't want to hide too much of this. Like this one, I have a big circle and all of that, and that's kind of background. But I don't want to steal the show with this by having something too big. So I'm going to get just a white that fit on a, that might be too tight. Let me get a 3/4. I have all my scraps here. This is probably too big. So let me just cut it down, and then I'm going to try 3/4. I'm just going to cut it. I know that's too long. So we're going to do 3/4 and see how that works. Let me do it this way. 3/4. I feel like there's more for it to grip to. And then we can do this in Night of Navy. I actually have Balmy Blue out because I was thinking I would do a little snowflake there, but I don't think it needs it. So let's do this. Right here. And then I'm going to banner each end. Hope your home is filled with the spirit of the season. I think that's great. So now I have my banners Pick-a-Punch. I found it. So this one gives you the point or the banner, flag, whatever you want to call it. So let's do the point on this one. So I'm just going to feed it in the back and just try to center it. And then what we want to do is just cut it. And feed this side through the back. Now if you don't have this, you can use your scissors and just do a banner, or you can just leave it straight. So we just put it right here. We're not covering up any of the cute bears. So let's get some dimensionals. I'm going to put 4 down. And you can put ribbon on this, but I think there's enough going on that you don't need it. And then maybe we'll put some kind of embellishment on it. There we go. Do we need an embellishment? I pulled these out. They're not really the right color though. I guess this blue is. Or we could do white. Let's see. Here's my take your pick tool. So these are actually like sequins. We'll put one here. And put a big one here. And here. Let's put some little ones. This I don't like. This is my, there we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is the end of that card, I think. So these are the 2 cards. And again, I'll have everything on my blog, but I also have just a link below with the project sheet, and it has everything that you need to know to make these fun fold cards. Aren't they cute? All right, thanks for joining. And if you go to my blog, you can see the online catalog there. It's just really the new catalog. The mini has tons of stuff. I know some things have been on back order, but they're coming in pretty quickly. If you need to find out about something, you can email me, patty@pspapercrafts.com, and I will look and see the status and when it will be back in stock. And I hope you try this and have fun with it. Thanks so much and have a good day.